What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer than my usual 6-minute videos. The reason is that yesterday we got confirmation that there are going to be double game weeks in the game week 24 and 25 prior to the already known double game week 26. For 26 we don't really know the fixtures yet. But for 24 and 25 there are some teams that are going to play double game week. 6 teams to be more precise. And the teams are Manchester City, Everton, Leeds, Burnley, Southampton and Fulham. So for this, and this kind of changes our strategy a little bit with the transfer plans, because we do want to have players for the double game week, of course. It just doubles the chance of a lot of points, of course. So for this video, I have picked 5 of those 6 teams, and I'm gonna show you 2 players from each of those teams that I think are the best ones to go for this double game week. So let's get started. The first team that I'm kind of targeting is Leeds. I think the Leeds have, if you look at the fixtures, they're playing Crystal Palace next week, then they're playing Arsenal, and then they had 2 games in game week 25 where they're playing Wolves and Southampton, and then you also have Aston Villa if you want to look long term. And for game week 26, we don't know the fixtures yet, so I just left one game there, but it's probably going to be double for most teams, but probably not for Leeds though. I think that is one of the teams that's not going to have double game week there. But for Leeds, I mean they are just so attacking. Their fixtures are really good on paper, and I think that there's gonna be goals for Leeds for sure. And the 2 players that really stand out for me is of course Patrick Bamford, and that almost half of the FPL community already owns, 48%. He's just the main man in their attack. He's really good. He scored 1 goal and 3 assists in the past 2 game weeks. And I think against Crystal Palace is a good captain choice. And in the double game week 25, when they play Wolves, who have struggled a lot this season, as well as Southampton, who has always also struggled quite a lot recently, especially defensively. I think that it's just a great option to get some Leeds attackers. So I think Bamford, of course, is a good option because a lot of people already owns him, so you don't want to miss out if he scores big. But a good differential that might even score as much or even more than Bamford, in my opinion, is Rafinha. He's looking really good right now. He's in really good form. He scored 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 game weeks, and he's only 1.5% ownership, which means that he's a huge differential. You could even captain him in game week 25. I'm probably gonna captain a Leeds player in game week 25, but you could probably captain him, and if he scores big, then you're gonna climb the ranks a lot. So I think Leeds definitely is a really good option to go for, and these are the 2 players I would go for. You could also go for Dallas if you want to go for a defender. If you want triple up even. I already had Dallas in my team, so I'm probably going to play him for sure. But I don't trust Leeds keeping clean sheets, so I would definitely focus on the attackers. The second team is Burnley, and here's kind of the opposite. You don't want to go for the attackers because they don't score a lot of goals. You instead want to focus on the defenders. And the 2 main standout players in my opinion is of course Nick Pope. He's the 2nd highest scoring goalkeeper this season so far, just after Martinez. I think he has 100 points in total. They haven't kept a clean sheet in the past 4 game weeks. Or actually, they have 1 clean sheet in the past 4 game weeks, but they played a lot of difficult games. They played Liverpool, Aston Villa, Manchester City, and Chelsea are the 0 clean sheets. But difficult fixtures for sure. But in total, they have a really good defense. You know that they can definitely keep a clean sheet and play really well defensively. And I think for defenders, there are players you can go for Tarkowski, you can go for Peters, you can go for Taylor. But I think the one man that stands out for me is definitely Ben Mee. He's nailed on. He's gonna play for sure unless he gets injured. And he is an aerial threat. He doesn't score much. He scored 2 goals this season so far. But I mean, against Fulham and Crystal Palace, who concedes a lot of heading goals, I think that he could definitely be an option there for scoring a goal. But I think look at the fixtures of Burnley. It's so good. Brighton at home. I don't think they're gonna probably score a lot, but they're probably gonna be able to keep a clean sheet. Against Crystal Palace, Fulham, West Bromwich, it just screams clean sheets for me. Even Tottenham, if Kane is not back, I think he will be back by that point. But if it's not back, I think that they can definitely keep a clean sheet as well. So Burnley is a team that I would definitely focus on. There's just no way you should let them slip out of your team, because I think they should definitely get at least one of the defenders of Burnley in your team. The third team is Manchester City. So this one is a little bit more, I would say kind of difficult to plan, because if you look at the fixtures, they play Liverpool now. So you probably don't want to get a lot of City players for this game week. But in game week 24, they have double. They play Tottenham and Everton. Not the easiest fixtures on paper. And then they have Arsenal, West Ham as well. Not the easiest fixtures either. I think that they can keep some clean sheets here. For all of these 5 games. Even against Liverpool, I think they can keep clean sheets. But it's a little bit risky, of course, to bank on clean sheets against kind of like big teams. Therefore, I would go for Joao Cancelo instead of Diaz, for example, because not only does he get the clean sheet if they keep a clean sheet, but he will also be able to get some attacking returns, hopefully, because he's just looking so good in the attack. And I think that he can definitely get some attacking returns in these games. And also Gundogan, I think, is a great option as well. He scored 7 goals and 1 assist in the past 10 games or something. And he's probably on penalties. He took the last penalty, then haven't gotten any penalties since he took the penalty a couple of weeks ago. So we're not really sure if he is going to take the penalties, but probably, because Sterling missed his one when he took the one before. But Ilkay Gundogan he's very clinical. When he takes a shot, he usually scores. And he has been not getting as many chances in the last games where he hasn't scored, but he's getting forward. And I think that he's definitely going to score some points during these game weeks. I think other players you can go for the City, of course. You can go for another attacker. You can go for Sterling. If De Bruyne is back, obviously I would go for De Bruyne. But we don't know when he's coming back. So Gundogan and Joao Cancelo is my picks for Manchester City. And it looks like Manchester City will, of course, have a double game week in 26. And also there are talks about having a double game week in 27 as well. So there's talked about 3 double game weeks for Manchester City. So you probably want to even triple up Manchester City. If you want to go for 2 defense or 2 attackers, or 1 defense and 2 attackers, it's up to you. I have 2 defense right now, but if De Bruyne comes back, I'm probably going to switch to 1 defender and 2 attackers. I'm not really sure, but you should definitely get some City players in, because you know City has the best defense in the league. You know that they are going to win games. You have to own some City players, for sure. The next team is Everton. So if you look at the fixtures there, it's not easy fixtures. Definitely not easy fixture. They're playing against Man United. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet. They might score, because Manchester United, I don't think they look too great in defense, even though they kept some clean sheets recently. But they almost conceded against Southampton with 10 men, and then he had 9 men eventually. But Adams almost scored twice, really, really close. And they played Manchester City in the double game week, and also Liverpool the week after. So Everton is a team, I don't know. It depends what you think yourself, of course. I think I already have Kevin Lewin, so I'm going to keep him for these weeks, of course. I wouldn't get many more players than that from Everton, because no other players I really, really trust. Because Digne, I don't think they're going to keep a lot of clean sheets in these games, maybe against Fulham. But since I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet against United, City, or even Liverpool, I wouldn't go for Digne. But he has the potential to score assists, of course. I think he has 7 assists in this season. But when he's played, I think he played, I don't know, 13, 14 games. He's been injured quite a lot. But when he has been playing, they only kept 1 clean sheet. So I don't trust clean sheets, but he's definitely a good option for crosses and getting assists. Otherwise, I'll Calvert Lewin and Digne. There's not other really players from Everton that I would personally go for. And the last team I'm going to talk about today is Southampton. So this is another team that I'm not really going to go for Southampton. I don't trust them. Their defense is really shaky right now. Bednarek got a red card, but it got appealed or whatever it's called in English. So he's not suspended anymore. He is able to play the next game. And it seems like Vestergaard is coming back pretty soon. And before Vestergaard got injured, Southampton was really good defensively. Really, really solid. And Vestergaard, let me look at the stats. He kept 5 clean sheets in 13 games. And in those 13 games, he got 63 points which is really good. It's really good. It's over 5 points per game, closer to 6 points per game. It's really, really good for a defender. And it's dropped in price now to 4.7, so he is a good option for defensive, for a defender. Their fixtures are not too bad. Newcastle, Wolves, then they have Chelsea and Leeds, and also Everton. Not too bad. If Westergaard is back already for Newcastle, I think that he is a player you could go for, definitely, to get it with Bednarek. They could form a good defensive partnership again. If he's not back, I wouldn't trust the defense too much. And Ings, he just has looked so poor recently. 1 goal in like 8 games or something. I don't really trust him at all. But he is, if you're going to go for a Southampton attacker, he is the player that I would target. He was close to scoring against, which team was it? Was it Liverpool? I can't remember. They played, when they played a couple of weeks ago, when he scored an offside goal that was super close. Like he has been close to scoring, but he hasn't scored. So they looked really poor. So I wouldn't really go for Southampton, but they are definitely a team that if Vestergaard is back and playing together with Bednarek again, and even if Walker Peters comes back, I think the defense could get more solid again. So it's a team to look out for, but I wouldn't really target them myself. So these are the teams that you should probably think a little bit about your strategy. Obviously, a lot of people are going to have City players. Some people are going to have Everton players as well. And also, I think a lot of people are going to have Leeds players. So you definitely want to get on the train and get some of those players in your team as well. If you're going to go a little bit more differential, then definitely a Burnley defender. And you could also go very much differential and go for some Southampton defenders. But I definitely wouldn't trust Southampton too much. But that's just my thoughts, you know. So I really hope you liked this video and it gave you some kind of good insight on which players to get. And if you have any questions, just let me know, and like the video if you liked it, and thank you for watching.